Izwe mazezo zeusindi bona izwe lako wethu uxole sonosa ungatobe numboya yakho lozero lufusa kolwa yalankosi yalanko kosisinga Thank you. We may sit. According to our programs, the person who was supposed to be standing here, it's Reverend Vugile Meana. He asked me to come and stand on his behalf, and also to render his apology, but definitely on Saturday, he will be the one who will be rendering the sermon of the day. Program directors, the ministers who are present and deputy ministers, MECs present, the executive mayor of Ekurhuleni, speaker of the council, the chief whip, MPs and MPLs, the MMCs, the councillors, and also the different political organizations, the community, and also the family, Kamam Thandi, the artists, more especially those who walked and traveled with her. This afternoon, in the wonderful name of our Lord Jesus Christ, I greet you. Amen. Friends, if we had time, when I was asked to come and render just few words, I tried to search in the Bible a scripture maybe that would fit such a colossal person. And the Spirit led me to two books, the book of Proverbs, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1, and also the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 1 as well. It reads thus follows. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1, it says, "A good name is more desirable than great riches, and favor is better than silver or gold." And the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 says, "A good name is better than a fine perfume, the day of death better than the day of birth." Now I will leave you with three things. A good name is more desirable than great riches. and favor is better than silver or gold. Now, the first thing that I would love to ask you is, when your name is mentioned amongst people, what does it invoke in their minds? When your name, when my name is mentioned amongst people, what does it invoke in their minds? Remember that most of the time, it is not what you say, but it is about how you make us feel when you are in our presence. It is whether you are able to walk the talk. When we say a good name is more desirable than great riches, I am sure we know many people. We know many people who have tried to sell their souls to the highest bidder in order to become rich. But today we want to invoke something of value, something that you cannot buy with your money, with your gold or silver, but just a good name. When we remember Mam Thandi, I want to say to you, even death will not put down her good name. Even the grave will not hold her good name and her good music. Actually, I want to say to you, this is the moment when we have planted her, that we shall reap more and benefit more from her life. Because some of our people, they become more desirable and more richer when they are gone. Because it is then that we as the society, we come to reflect on their lives. And also, friends, I want to say to you, in this world, when we think of the gold and the riches or the silver of this world, some of us are able to manipulate, to deceive, to do whatever in order to touch the cookie jar. But I want to tell you something. I want to say to you today, always a death of a person should unsettle us in a manner that speaks to our own souls. And ask yourself, what will be said about me when I'm not there anymore? Because at that moment, you will not be able to justify some of the deeds that you have done in this world. Friends, also, I wish to challenge us when we think about Mam Thandi, to say she chose to live a life of modesty. She chose to be content. She chose to become a better person. She chose the spirit of altruism. There were many things that she could have chosen, but she chose a good name above everything else. And lastly, from the book of St. Luke chapter 12, verse 20, Jesus is having a conversation with a rich man. He says to him, "You fool, this very night you will die. Then who will get everything that you have worked for?" Because some of us work tirelessly to be rich. There's nothing wrong in being rich, but in a good way. What we're saying here is that some of us would do whatever it takes. When we say whatever it takes, some of us are even prepared to sell people they were with in their trenches. Some of us are prepared to break relationships with their friends, with their families, just to be rich. And yet Umamuthandi chose a modest life. And so when we reflect on her life, I wish to challenge you and say to you, money, yes, makes things easier, but money is not everything in this world. And last but not least, we are at a time, an Italian political theorist, Antonio Gramsci, would say it's an interregnum. When I tried to look at it, what did he mean? He said the old is dying and the new cannot be born. And in this interregnum crisis, the problem is that there are morbid systems that appear. And so Umamuthandi is leaving us at a moment when the old is dying and yet the new cannot be born. It is the time, friends, when we look at ourselves, we pray and say to ourselves, God, help us as a nation to become better people. Help us as a nation to get better leaders. Help us as a nation to become a people of integrity. Help us as a nation to become a people of honesty. Help us as a nation to become a people who are respectful towards each other. And so, as I'm about to leave this podium, I wish to challenge you and say to you, when you are gone, what will you be remembered for? When you are no more, what will we say about you? Maybe you are saying, I don't care, I will not be hearing. But let me tell you this, the legacy that you will leave for your children is very much important, because a good name is what we're supposed to go for. In Jesus' name, amen. Lord, thank you for tonight. I pray for the family, more especially the children. I pray for the friends and relatives. Comfort them in the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much for this spiritual growth experience, Mfundisi wami. Let's give our spiritual father a round of applause, please. We are going to have the SABC choir give us an item, whilst the family band, as we move into the family sector, part 3, whilst the family band comes close so that they come in immediately. Thank you. Over to you, sir. if you did not see the gates of heaven open, try some more. Thank you very much. Let's give the choir a big round of applause. Thank you. We have the family band here. And you can see Sister Thandi. You can see Sister Thandi garbed here. Truly representative. Let's give the family band a big round of applause. They know Sister Thandi well and have played with Sister Thandi. And I would that as we move on, we are going to request Utatu Roger Pambane and Lorraine Klaasen to be ready immediately after the family band, because thereafter we're going to have a tribute by the grandchildren, and then we are also going to have Lorraine present a very, very special dedication with the family band to Mam Thandi. Let's give the family band a big round of applause. Over to you, gentlemen.
Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to do this song as a tribute to Mam Thandi. She loved this song. It's the last song I sang for her when she was in hospital. And I'll try and do, a Thandi honors. Okay? Sharp. I see trees of green. Thank you. Red roses too. Well, I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, Mama Thandi was such a beautiful soul, a great dancer and entertainer. If you agree, just clap your hands, say how did you do? I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what wonderful company we have here to be able to say goodbye to her. Oh yes it is. Well, the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, yes, so pretty in the sky. Also
are the faces.
Well,
People going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They really say, of you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They learn much more than I ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
That's Dimple Hague on piano and the Prince on trumpet. Let's give them another rousing. Sis Thandi is smiling right now, up there. Thank you very much. Tatu Pambane, please. Thank you very much, sir.
That is how the Honorable Thandi was going through all when days were dark. Lo mama ngumama omangalisayo. I thought maybe I can stand here, say things that andizazi, kodwa endizaziyo zokuba uThandi Klaasen wayemazi uThixo. What I'm going to miss about my mother, it is that big heart ebenayo yokwenza izinto. She start a thing ayifikelise ekugqibeleni. My mother gave me into namhlanje engizahamba ngayo yokuba methembe uJehova empilweni yakho yonke mntanami, ngoba lo Thixo unguThixo omangalisayo, uThixo ophendulayo kuzo zonke izinto zempilo yakho. My mother was a very strong woman. Akasazi isibhedlele umamami ephila, akasazi isibhedlele umamami ngenxa yempilo benayo, impilo evakalayo. My mother was very, very strong. She was living alone. Xa ndithi living alone, mama ebethi xa ufika endaweni yakhe apha hlala khona umvakatshele usela amanzi ngekopi wayibeka apha ngafuni khona, she'll call you back. Uyifumane phi leti le kopi? Uyifumane injani? You must wipe it. Uyibeke apha ayibeka khona ngendlela yakhona. That's how I miss my mother. My mother taught me to be a survivor. Today I'm a boy of many talents. Ngenxa kamama. And abaninzi, they'll be surprised. Wherever my mother was, I was always in the backyard. That is why beningazi abaninzi uba Thandi is having a son. To others it's a surprise. Umama, wherever she was going to, places, umntana ebethetha ngayo was my younger sister. Umntanam. And my younger sister adopted umama wam. So there was this little friction. Yokuba kutheni ethi umama wam ngathi umama wethu. Even today, naxa ethetha uzathi umama wam. Alibali uba nam ndikhona. Kodwa that didn't put me offline. Bendisazi uba nam ndinayo indawo la mama. Nami ndinayo iseat umama andibekele yona. And that thing made me very strong. Yazi ndisho nama interviews. Umama can be interviewed that the zonke izinto ngempilo yakhe athi umntanam, meaning my sister Lorraine. Kodwa loo nto ayizange isi-divide. Today we are together still as brother and sister. Loo nto iyandijabulisa. Usandihlonipha, nam ndiyamhlonipha. And ii-gifts zabantu azifani. Une-gift ekuthiwa une-gift yokuthetha mntana sekhaya. That one unayo uzawuyisebenzisa. Kwanokucula, she's after my mother. Kodwa ke mna, ndathatha i-gift kamakhulu man. I-gift kamakhulu yile ebendingene ngayo. Ekugqibeleni xa ndisiya ekugqibeleni, ndizayibetha ngetshuni yokuthi Diradeka Shuya Kesajamo no Mohopewa Kapa Siha Kidu Seka Tambo. This is a talent that is in the Mpampanis, in the Klaasens. Siyakwazi ukucula. Siyakwazi ukucula sincele ibele ebelicula. You can hear my mom sing. Naxa ubungabe mhlambe ubungafuna ukumamela, you've got to drop what you're doing and listen to her singing. Heartbreaking songs, kodwa full of love. Ngokutsho njalo mama ndithi hamba kakuhle. Hamba kakuhle intombi kazikhali. Hamba kakuhle intombi kaMpambani. Hamba kakuhle apho uyakhona uze usilungisele nathi xa sikulandela. Amen.
Is that beautiful? Is that not beautiful? Let's give them a big round of applause. I'm with my sweet Lorraine. Let's give Lorraine a big round of applause.
Sanbonani, Dumelang, Uchandet, who's it? That was the way my mom used to greet everybody. My chest is so tight, and my throat is like somebody put a rope around my throat. So my emotions are very uncontrollable. But I first want to acknowledge this great honor of standing in front of you representing my mom, our mom, as I've been so oftenly corrected by my brother. Just so that I can make that correction, is because me and my mom, we have so many things in common. Well, we're both girls, we're both singers, we are united in song, but we're also baptized in fire. We both experience those things together, so we have a lot in common. But I was a good observer of my mom. When I was a little girl, I used to say, when I grow up, I'm going to be just like my mother. I'm going to sing and travel all over the world and make people happy with my music. And I am really living the promise I made to myself. So, thank you. So having observed my mom, I could see that music made my mom very happy. It was not about how she sang the songs. It was how she could see the reactions from the audience, always put a smile in somebody's faces. And so I have taken this gift, this wonderful gift that I've inherited from my mom, and I didn't put it under a table. I took it when I went overseas. I started here. People don't know I started here, my career. Odes and Don Lindbergh, I did the lead role, and my mom happened to play my mom in those productions. We did Sola Sola, we went to Greece and all these different places. My mom played my mom. So the protection, I guess, I had was that my mom was traveling with me as artist, but she played the role of my mom. So I had that protection, extra protection, of making sure that I lived a decent life. There was no other things that are happening there in our lives. So my mom was looking after me, and I took very good care of my mom. To the point that I'm trying to condense this because program director said that it's 5 minutes. Every time my mom would come to visit me in Canada, I did not just take my mom and let her sit on the couch and watch television. Every day counted. I make sure that her day counted by telling her stories about the apartheid system. What was it like growing up in the 50s? So the stories I would share with the kids, with my own family, my children, I wanted them to hear it from my mother. But I didn't just stop with my mom. I took my mom into schools in Canada. I took my mom into senior citizens' home in Canada. I took my mom to the burn foundations in Canada. I took my mom to the AIDS Foundation. Every place where my mom could speak and inspire people, I took my mom. And so she became alive. But when she came La Ekaya, I noticed that she was withering away musically. Our home is decorated with wonderful acknowledgements of awards. But mommy was like a plant, a beautiful rose or flower. It could look pretty in your house, but if you don't water it, it withers away and it dies. And mom was that kind of a person with a great acknowledgement. If you come to a home, it looked like a museum. If you come to my home in Canada, it looked like a museum. So there's the relationship I had with my mom, is that we complemented each other beautifully. Musically, and my mom taught me isintu. Nandahamba apha since 1980s. Kodwa abantwana bam, they were born phaya. My kids speak African language, bathetha isiZulu. Nabazukulwane bam bayasikhuluma isiZulu. These songs that my brother was singing, they know the songs. So I've taught my kids. So it's not just talk. Talk is cheap. It's through your actions. So I hope this memorial that we're celebrating my mom's legacy, that I continue to take the baton and run with it. My mom never had managers and agents who work for her. And so that's when my mom told me, I must invest in my own career. Because if you're waiting for somebody to be your manager and your agent, you'll wait. So that's when I started to get my own company. I started to invest. I started to put bread on people's table. And I also brought Abigail Gupega, Auntie Abigail, Sophie Mqina, passed away, Dorothy Masuku. I brought my mom. They all stayed in my little home in Canada because I kept my promise to them that someday I'm going to bring you to Canada. And I like to make a public declaration. Bradimpi, I'm going to bring you to Canada. My mom's duo here that you saw, when we're doing a same tribute in Canada for mommy, you guys are going to come. Yes. And this is Lengoma Le. This is a song we always used to share with my mom. My mom always tells me she loved me. We use the word I love you, I love you, I love you all the time. So sometimes we will do it in a song. And my mom would look at me and she would say, Mtanam, my baby Lorraine, I know how much you love me, but music was a way of putting it in words. And I love you so, my daughter Lorraine. The people ask me how. They want to know how I've lived till now. I tell them I don't know. Did you get me now? Mommy, I guess they understand this, how lonely life can be. The shadows follow me and the nights won't set me free. But she won't let the evening get you too, mommy. Your thoughts, they were just for me. I know you set my spirit free, and I love you so. I'm wearing my mom's hat. I'm wearing my mom's shoes. I pluma say I'm gay. The local to my mom gay. I'm caught by gay senior. That's like a mama. And yes, I know lonely life can be. Shadows follow me, and the night will set me free. But I won't let the evening get me down. Not to my mom. Now that you are all around, you're around my mommy. Thank you.
Dit gaat nou aan. Het is niet net speeches, Anna ding. Daar gaat het nou aan. Ik denk on sinds is Thandi wat ons allemaal hier is. Als hij gaat zo aan. Thank you very much. We would love to have the grandchildren pay tribute. Mrs. Lydia Vasalotti and Dr. Nandi Pandlovu, please come upstage to pay tribute to the hell of an ideal gogo. Over to you. Let's give them a big round of welcome applause. Abazugulu Pela deserve special treatment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, for being here and supporting our family. Unlike my mom or my grandmother, I don't sing. And I'm going to keep my speech very short. My grandmother, where to begin? She was a fashionista, an artist, a singer, an actress. She meant everything to a lot of people, and especially to us, her grandchildren. My grandmother is the rock of our family. We look up to her. We try to emulate her in every way possible. And we hope that we made her proud. Today is very difficult. I didn't think it would be this hard, since we don't spend as much time with our grandmother as we would like to. Every year, my grandmother would come to Montreal in the summer to visit, and those were some of my fondest memories. Having her come over and call all of my girlfriends over and tell us about all of her adventures, her concerts all around the world, and all of her adventures in South Africa. Those were some of my fondest memories that we shared with my grandmother. All that we are, all that I am, is because of my grandmother. I tried to be a good mother and a good wife, and that's all that I can really do. I'm going to pass the microphone on to my cousin, Dr. Nandi, because at this point, I'm about to start to cry, to be honest with you. So before that happens, I'm gonna pass the mic on to my cousin. Grandma, if you can hear me, I love you. You will forever be missed, and I will cherish every memory and moment that we shared together. Until we meet again, may you rest in peace.
Afternoon, everybody. I promise not to cry, and I'm going to keep my promise. Afternoon, as I said, all protocol observed. I was told to say that, so here I am saying it. So I'm Dr. Thandi Klaasen, and I'm one of Thandi Klaasen's granddaughters. And I was chosen to come and speak to you today to share just a small snippet of our priceless memories with her. But we called her Smagadi. You knew her as Thandi Nelly Klaasen, but she was simply Smagadi to us. Where or how do you begin to describe such a life, such a well-lived life, such an icon, such a star in every sense of the word? My grandmother, during this past week, she has showed me flames. I mean, I've learned amazing things about her. I've seen all the love pouring in. And this week really put everything into perspective for me. And as her family, we knew her as our Smagadi, as I said. She was our comedian, our straight talker. She had this magical power of making wine disappear in a second. You know, she was my personal role model, and she was our unshakable pillar of strength. To the world, though, she was known as the world-famous Thandi Klaasen, the artist, the performer, who was loved by so many people. But I truly believe that the turning point in my grandmother's life was the day of that petrol fire. That day, the fire was set to put an end to her rising star. But they were wrong. They were also wrong, because that was the day when she was truly born. Everyone's got their own turning point in their lives. We can rather choose to pursue it, chase your dream, or you can turn back and you can fail. She did not choose to fail. No, she really didn't. And I think out of this is where we have all, throughout our whole family, have gained our strength from. This is where we all learn to stand proud. And the one important lesson this all taught us all is the power of your friendships. Through her friends, who then became family, they loved her, they supported her, they motivated her to even greater heights. And that is my lesson. Choose your friendships very carefully, because they can either break you or they can make you. And like any good book, it's got all its contributors. And in Smagadi's wonderful book, wonderful stories, she had her friends, she had her family by her side, and they all put together a beautiful and complete story. So, before I get emotional as well, I'm not going to keep my promise. That's my lesson to you all. And as her grandchildren, we were so grateful and we were so blessed to have her as our grandmother and to have her as our guiding light. Smagadi, we will always miss you. We will always love you. And we want to thank you for being our inspiration. Thank you.
They are so beautiful, aren't they? Isn't she lovely? Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Another one, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we're going to request Umama Usali Nkosi Peterson to come and pay tribute as a friend. And after her, we are going to request the orchestra ensemble to prepare themselves. And before that, I would that I indicate he is not just Johnny Mekwa. He is Dr. Johnny Mekwa. If you have a pen, please indicate it. He's earned it. He deserves it. So please, the tendency is we usually don't appreciate our people who are achievers. And I believe that is what we need to do for us to move ahead as a nation. If you have a pen, just indicate on your program that he is Dr. Johnny Mekwa Orchestra Ensemble. Ma, over to you, Mama. Thank you. Let's welcome Mama with a big round of applause. Mama Peterson, let's give her a big round of applause. She's very special, you know. Let's give her a big round of applause. Thank you very much.
Khulule ihlangu zami ndanxiba isandal zomuntu ngoxa ndizayo zincinci ngoba inyawo zami zivuvukile xa ndiphantse ndajika ndiyofuna onxiba ezi azindilumayo. Thank you, Program Director. Protocol observed. I would love to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. That Thandi, irrespective of having that big position in Eden Park, when things were tough, 1985, the Polar Park riots, she came forward and said to me, Comrade Saleh, what is it that we can do to assist? I said to her, Thandi, ndizoqala ndiyobuza kundlu nkulu ngoba sinomthetho kule ndlu endibelonga kuyo, African National Congress. Asizenzeli nje. Xa ndifika pha ndatsho kubadala. I was in the national leadership of the African National Congress Women's League. Sacela sathi siyabona nikhona kodwa nathi sifuna ukuthi 1 2 3. uThandi always had an ace up her sleeve for the poorest of the poor. Encedisa watsho lento ayibonayo singayenza. Sayothatha amaholo. Nayazi ngelo xesha bekunzima ukuqhekeza iholo ungena uyabotshwa. Sayoqhekeza iholo safaka bonke abafazi nabantwana basedunusa isabizwa idunusa iPolar Park sabafaka phakathi noThandi. That is one that I will never forget. She have contributed a lot towards the liberation yethu. Asinamali yalabantu sibafake eholeni akokutya, asithemba umuntu ukuthi siyocela. Wathi ndiyocula the following day kwalapha eholeni lesithathe ngenkani. Kanti sizobotshwa that day. Silungisa abantu, silungisa itulo. Sithi ku aba sibafake pha. Babe pha emva sikwazi uyenza imali abantu bazobhatala bangene sithenga ukutya. Kwangena amaphoyisa namahipho. Kuzothathwa wonke umuntu opha phakathi. Sacula ingoma. Kubi Hosea It didn't come on a train. It didn't come on a train. There's still people up till today that we sit and pray for because we don't know where they are. It is not yet uhuru. Niyeke. Mandingathethi. Bendlini nkulu besicelile yabona lento ukucela kuhle lento ukucela kuhle ithe benza njalo saya sicula yona lengo xa sifika pha sebesimele obomothelo mutsego bengamaloya bamile basimele kwathi hayi ngenani niphinde nijike nibanisho zonivalela phi sabuya futhi siyapha bathi singene illegal sibuye lapha sizoyapi uthanda athi asisayenza iconcert pha so yenze le Polar Park eDunusi ngoba pha siprotectiwe siyaprotectwa ngabantu bomphakathi sayenza iconcert hayi kwabhadalwa abanye baze babhadalwa bo 10 lalela i5 ibininji ngelo xesha sathi 5 rand abanye bathi 20 rand umuntu omnyama man bezibophile bathi 100 rand abanye bona aba bezivenkile baphuma umuntu athi mina ndizozisa imilimili lo wathi inyama sayenza njalo. I want to show other artists that she was an activist. She was not just an artist. Masenza into yama Veterans League uthi kum hayi labo makhulu bathi andize ema meeting uPinar ndiye noPinar phakuyi sifuna zocula athi hayi man ndewika man dive amanye ama veteran ahleba thu Thandi wil net gesien word hy wil net kom by die limelights ngoku mna ndifuna ukuhletshwa ngoba ndizobaxelela samthatha saya noPinar sayenza iconcert enkulu eEden Park emnandi sekune arts and culture desk yasekuruleni unama awards pha endlini andithethi nje siqhonyiwe pha yama veteran oba makhulu kanti silama artists amaninji emphakathini yayazi lonto abantu abacula baninji oba makhulu bayacula the day yalo concert one man show njengoba yechulo rain mama ke bengafulwa abantu akho band ngelo xesha ucula yedwa konepiano ama background akhe sitha sazi nokucula athi nje lomnethe sharp 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 siyaphambili sharp 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 siyaphambili uthandi loyo abantu babhatele mina ndinengxaki yokuthi ezinye ingoma zesilungu laba sePolar Park bathi makacule zesixhosa zodwa angafaki isilungu athi hayi kaloku apha nibona ukuthi niyabheda jele mun clever as uchange uthi babam bam 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 uye ngebeat wena bam 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 bazocinga ukuthi yitune yethu leyo kugcwele abobani ke umphakathi wase-Eden Park was so confused sabaxela ukuthi sisuka phi singamakhaladi akozwiwe ikhaladi you can never be a colored there's only two nations black and sabachazela that's my sister's son he's a counselor today sabachazela obo Peterson sabaxela ukuthi Peterson ile eBombay man apho buya khona obo makhulu ngomamngqosini ngoba Gadebe yingoba bani esisibongo silahlele pha two nation black and white phelile kwakukhona sa launcher phambi kwePolar Park kwaba yiEden Park elauncher ibranch ngenxa kabani kaMamthandi. Now I want to talk to you Lorraine. I so wish our children could witness what I have witnessed and Eden Park have witnessed through you. You showed us that you are still an African child. Ngoba ngesintu sakuthi noboyendile nobunomzi wakho uzosala ungumntwana walomzi. She showed it. I would phone and say Lorraine will phone you 5, 6 times. Is my mama right? Ngenxesha ndicinga ukuthi thetha naye American. Di change and name who is speaking. Ati Anseli, it's Lorraine. It's Lorraine over here. Oh Lorraine bendicinga ukuthi ngumlungu. Actually Lorraine is my mama, right? Go and check her. Seville. She's very sharp. Unabantu abaninji. Thunywa lo ufuna stories zakhe ukuthi ziyafana na. Andicela ukuthi Mam Sally, thank you. That's the truth. They phoned me already. But mind you, Uyasebenza la mntwana. Uza in a year's time 4 or 5 times. Akafuna mama kathi kakhulu. Usuka sicela ukuthi andisanithembi sizombona engena. That girl didn't know that when you go to town kunama sign. One day phone I went into a wrong taxi. I'm in Alberton now. I said go to the Alberton taxi rank, show them 7. She went and she phoned me. She said, I have showed them 7. I'm in Johannesburg. I'm at the hospital. Now, getting to Saguti Lorraine. I'm happy your daughter said we learned from my grandma. You learned from your mother. They must learn from you. You were there for your mother 24 hours. You did not depend on our calls. You wanted to see her. You didn't care whether you have money or not, but we'll see you walking in. Umhloniphile umamakho. Umongile umamakho. You've nursed your mother to the last end of it. December, when people was rejoicing, when you were sitting next to a bedside in the hospital. Ebehleli Lorraine. Bathi labo tata bebelapha estation. Nalaba bhuti baye kuyi. Laba ububabona. She'll be there 24 hours around the clock. Azo change athatha izinto ayovasa umama kam change. Ukyapha uza ngokulala ekseni xa uthi ufuna xa umfuna you must be there 6 o'clock because she's gone. Gama taxi. Nandiva bakithi. Ngama taxi. Where was the music industry? Why didn't they see to it that what is happening to Lorraine? How does she manage? She's here a month and a half. How does she manage it? Nantethi nyani Jong binjani. Funa ukushiya ngalamazwi wena lolo. Bophi band. Ukushiye nayo le band. Nobody must confuse you. Don't allow it. You are big enough now. Thetha nothanda aphelele khona mina ngo. Jojo. Tiaka. Zikhali botsolo. Bethintonga. Le ntombazana le ayizenzisanga. Yonke lento ebeyenze bencele beleni lamaXhosa. Nandiva akazenzanga. Nina abantwana basasele. I'm 68 years this year 21st September. I'll be 68. But in the island yanibita. Uthande bethi nje ke ndicherisa le thread Bombay an. Hele msofaya town style shaya. Andiyazi Sophia town style. Diphume ndiye pha kwakhe ndinxibisa icomrade. Athi khawuyeke man nalesi comrade ungayinxiba Sophia town style. Thengi lokho etyeki lapha ecaleni ushaya isigqoko sakho ibethe ecaleni yeANC uye rallyini. Babuza apha abombutho. Dingena pha erallyini ungathi ngina 16 dibhita abanye ngoba ngenxakathandi. Lastly, don't get confused. Don't forget where you come from and where we are going to. We are like children of Israel. They were right at Canaan. After the crimes, God released Moses to go and relieve them. Release them from the world of slavery. Kwa Pharaoh. Ithe bafike bephumile ku Pharaoh. Abanye babo bathi bekubhetere kwa Pharaoh. Belibala ukuthi bebekhala emini nasebusuku becela uJehova uncedo wabanika uncedo. Don't forget where we come from. Amandla.
True friends, one will always identify by their way as to how to go about life. Let's give the special one a big round of applause. Thank you, Mama Sally. Thank you, Ma. The tsunami is about to strike. Fasten your seatbelts. Let's give the ensemble a big round of applause. The Johnny Mekwa ensemble. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And I was saying to the bereaved family, Lorraine and family, we're here today to celebrate one of the living, one of the greatest legends ever to crisscross the world. And that happens to the late Thandi Klaasen. Na ke bitse ha ke gola ke bitse le Thandi Pambane. A little about Thandi, that she was a well-rounded musician, very, very incredible musician. I mean, I was Thandi na sa categorizing music. Una opela mpata, na opela jazz, na opela di blues, na opela every musical genre. And as a result, we learned a lot from her. And we're going to do two special songs. Now, the first one we're going to do, this is a ballad that we want to do, and it's entitled A Ballad for a Friend. It's by a late friend of mine by the name of Peter Ebelsheimer. And then the second song we're going to do, I'm going to bring a young singer from Davidton. This young singer has been strongly influenced by late Thandi. You'll just pick her up when she sings that, yes, the influence, the Klaasen influence is strong, it's there. So this is how we celebrate Thandi's life. Rest in peace, Thandi. Right. Yes, that was a ballad for a friend. And now I'd love really, let's celebrate her life. This is one song. It's a great classic, a jazz standard, that whenever she took the stage, people would, the room would rock. And that was late Sister Thandi. This is, I mean, I don't have to tell you what was the title of this one, but you'll pick it up. Her name is Surprise Malanga. Right. Have you got a mic for her? Yes. We need a mic for her. Right there. That's your moment. Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You got it. Just let's go. One,
Let's give them a standing ovation. I think they deserve it. Let's give them a standing ovation. I believe they deserve it. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Wherever she is, Mam Thandi is beaming smiles. It's beaming, she is beaming smiles. Now we're going to call upon Miss Vuyo Mpambani, a grandchild, let me put it, who's going to pay tribute to a gogo. Let's welcome her with a very, 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 very loving round of applause. Can't we do a bit better, please? Children need motivation. Thank you very much. And after her, we're going to have a musical item by the EMPD choir. I'm looking around. Vuyo Mpambani. Okay. Let's give them a big round of applause. Let's give a homecoming to South Africa welcome applause. Okay. Abazukulu bethu asibashayele izandla. Thank you.
Very loud, no?
Good afternoon to all our special guests, all protocols observed, and to our friends and family. Thank you for the love and condolences. I'll be reciting a poem as a tribute to our great-grandmother. A great-grandmother just like you. We just want to let you know you mean the world to us. Only a heart as clear as yours would give so unselfishly. Many things you've done, all the times you were there, helped us know deep down inside how much you really cared, not just for us, but for all that knew you. Granny, even though we might not say we appreciate you for all the things you've done and all the time, we are glad to say richly blessed is how we feel to have a great-grandmother just like you. Rest in peace, Smagadi, we will miss you.
Let's give them a South African welcome home round of applause. That's not enough. Please do some bliff. Thank you very much. You know, our children need to be motivated. The more we do that, the more we get to accentuate the positive. Let's give them a special one. Let's give them a special one. Thank you very much. Now we're moving on to our part 4 of the program, the music industry bodies. We're going to request Mr. Blondie Machene and Messrs. Blondie Machene and Babsim Langweni representing Mpasa, and then we're going to have Samik represented by Romeo Getsemane, and we're going to have Sifsa represented by Professor Crosby Mbele, who's going to take over on behalf of Tony Khoroche. Okay, thank you. Let's give our EMPD choir homebrew local ovation.
Oh,
One of the very special things about Ekurhuleni is that one feels proud to have been born and brought up here. Let's give Ekurhuleni MPD a big round of applause. This is home brew. This is ours. Let's give it a better loving applause. Yasekaya. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're now moving over to our part 4, where we are going to request Mr. Blondi Machen and Mr. Babsim Langeni. Thank you, they are here. Okay. And after them, we have Samik, represented by Romeo Getsimane, and SIFSA by Professor Crosby Mbele. Over to you, Jim.
Thank you. Yes. There's your microphones.
Oh.
There we go.
Good afternoon. All protocol observed. By the way, they said I'm Babsim Langen, angit? I know some of the people here, bamangele bathi ay. Kanti lo baba lo osaphila namhlanje. Bacaba ukuthi kudala ngafa. I'm sorry, I'm not the dying type. I'm standing here representing Mpasa, Music Performance Association of South Africa. Now, this organization, we formed it to unite the musicians of this country and to help them in many ways than one. There are so many challenges that musicians face in this country, mainly financially, contractually, and there are a lot of scrupulous promoters. The other day, on the 26th of December, a lot of us musicians were advertised in Velcom. At the 11th hour, they said the show can't continue because they didn't have money to pay. Now, they've used our name. So Mpasa had to jump in and solve that problem. So luckily, at the end of this month, I told you it. And Sis Thandi, she was a member of Mpasa. And I'm sure you heard that some of the legends, so because Thandi was ailing, Mpasa had to go up and down, try to get that money. And with God's grace, Saitola Nyogunada. So she got her money before she passed on. And 1996, talking about Sis Thandi, 69. Sister Thandi organized a show, a tour in Lorenzo Marx. Now, today it's Mozambique. For Papsim Langeni and the all-rounders. For about 2 months. Hey, I don't know how did she get it right, because she even organized the flight to Lorenzo Marx. It was the first time I Kibele airplane in my life. Sister Thandi arranged it, and I remember when we got into the plane, she said to me, "Exemelati, Zawalayi, so I said, for the same seat, no Thandi." And she kept on telling me, because it was my first time flying, she kept on explaining what's happening with the clouds and all that, because I didn't charge. So when we got to Lorenzo Marx, we performed in a lot of nightclubs. So I had a blockbuster, a single that was called Sala Ema. So every night, I think I used to sing that song 4 or 5 encores every night. Sister Thandi, she would sing Pata Pata. She used to bring the roof down. Sister Thandi. So in fact, the promoter wanted us to go to Portugal. But unfortunately, they didn't have enough money. So I had to come back home. Now, I am what I am today because she added value in my career. You know, if you are disabled, you must put double the amount, to prove yourself that you can make it. Because Nina, and and I don't understand, because sometimes Martina, mina ngishaya ngama-yellow bones ngitshele. So, Sister Thandi, rest in peace. Phumula ngoxolo dadewethu. Ukijimile wasebenza. And another thing, Sister Thandi never appeared in the press for the wrong reasons. Never. Thank you.
Bonga, 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 jingin yuni inte sabe. Bonga, 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 I'll say bonga. Bonga, a bonga, 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 jingin noni, yente sabele. Akutwi, uguhlabelela, guyam togozisa, lotabugile, tina spetimbiza. Togozan.
Togoza.
They They are survivors. They are survivors. Let's give them a big round of applause. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you very much. Now we're going to call upon Professor Crosby Mbele from SIFSA. Professor Mbele, please, over to you, sir. Let's welcome the professor with a big round of applause. Let's welcome the professor. This is a professor, I wear baller, man. This is a professor academic. Let's give her a big round of applause. Thank you.
Okay. Sanibona. Dumelang. Okay, thank you very much. All protocol observed. Ngiyazi ukuthi hayi sekuyiculo kodwa we really want to thank all of you, Ekurhuleni, government, DAC, Nathi Mthetho, so serious about this industry and takes the death of an artist very seriously. We say thank you. And thank you also to the Deputy Minister, Umama Mabuda Fasi. She's an activist and she's here. Give her a big hand. Just to highlight some of the things that Sis Thandi taught me. When I came back from exile, at some point, she was the one who welcomed me. La Ekurhuleni. I live in Brackenhurst, and she's about 5 minutes away from Brackenhurst. So I was worried actually about the industry. And what he gave me, you say, yes, I'm worried that somebody who wished her a happy birthday from Red Metro, what's it? Happy birthday, Mama Keba. And then Umamire Makeba, what, how? You're wishing me a happy birthday and you don't play my music, which was very sad. I got to Sister Ndunamazi nje uhlanya nje lunyathi hayi man yazi wena Cosby uzobona the day ushona your music will be played all over the radio stations, don't worry. Yabona ngathi hawu sister sekufuna size simele ukushona athi yeah, sometimes artists suffer till the end. But I just want to say one thing. Ukuthi as SIFSA, we have seen the promised land that was seen by Dr. Martin Luther King. We know we have a lot of problems and would like to say maybe this is the beginning, because when we were elected in Mangaung, the creative industries of South Africa, with 8 sectors, AMA authors, there is a section for AMA author, there is a section for performance arts, there is a section for craft and design. It's the beginning, and we hope even those who will follow, AMA artists, ngaleso sikhathi, and the whole music industry at large, we are saying that we have seen the promised land. We might not get there with you, but we have seen it. And we can see that the road to that freedom is coming. And Sis Thandi contributed to that. When I told her about my life in the US, Noguti, there's a time when I met Paul Simon, the time Efuna Ugleta Mambazo, Dumandlovu was there. We were not sure, because at that time we were still fighting that Americans don't come to South Africa, because some of them came back with a negative idea. There's nothing wrong with South Africa. We lived in the best hotel, and there's nothing wrong with the apartheid system. There's a time I'll make it a mission to bring some of the artists now to America, because some of them were very naive about our country. I mean, Bebek Buza and Jamin, I was one of these people of Bebek Buza. Professor, I was lecturing at the City University. Have you ever killed a lion in your country? Then I would say, yes, I've killed a lion, and very soon I'll kill you. They would laugh, some of the students would laugh. Those who know the African continent,
those who've been exposed to our history, to the books like Sheikh Anta Diop, Uguti, we are the masters of civilization. For the mere fact that our pyramids were in the African continent, in Egypt, we are the pillars of civilization. So I wanted my students to know that, to know Uguti, Tina njengama South Africans, there's a time when we were looked down upon. But now is the time that we wake up and show the world who we are. Our intelligence should be seen. I just want to also say to you today, Umam Thandi, sometimes we're in tetis. I'm not a sis Thandi to you, I'm Mam Thandi. It's okay, whatever, Mam Thandi, okay, I know you're old, but not that much. Ungang busy sis Thandi, busy Mam Thandi. And I said, no problem. But she had that humanity in her. She had that caring attitude. When Barbara Creasy, who was at that time the MEC of Arts and Culture in Gauteng, called us and said, I want you guys to be part of the 50th anniversary of the Freedom Charter, as was celebrated by ANC. She said, Nkona, I'm there, a real freedom fighter. Even if she sang and, blessed the whole world with her voice, she still had the caring heart, the activist in her. But what I liked about her, Guti, she was down to earth. I would like to say also to all the musicians, maybe who could not be here, tomorrow at the Market Theatre, the president of CIFSAU, Mr. Tony Korocha, said, I must remind them, Guti, all the music industry people are invited to the same type of a ceremony as over the Market Theatre, kusasa, around 1 o'clock. Siyayibonga, mshayeleni izandla naye Nkosi yami. One of the things I also liked about Sis Thandi was her self-esteem. Ube proud of your mama. Ube zithanda. Like one speaker said, even if uthatha ikomishi, he would ask you to ibuyisele lapha. When I was in her house, I saw that uyazithanda. She is very proud. And she is a dedicated musician. All of us can say, hi, Mam Thandi, hamba kahle, siyabonga. And there's a time when I said to her, I negotiated with Michael Jackson's management, as a South Africa, and at least contribute to the Mandela Fund. There's a time when I brought the Soweto Teachers Choir, and we had no money. But American said, if the people we want to bring are from the land that gave us Mandela, bring them on. We'll see. Baba Tata to different houses, Beba hosted, and they helped us. And I'm happy that his SAPC choir was also here, because in 2010, they asked my brother, who lives in New York, we must promote the FIFA World Cup. And we did an excellent job. And we hope that if God gives us more power, we will promote our country positively, internationally. And everybody, Lorraine, Nyazgute Canada, you have played your part. Amnaba Bazugulu, everybody who goes abroad, please play your parts. Play your parts and lift up the flag of South Africa. Thank you. Kunengoma engifuna nje ukuvalelisa uMam Thandi ngayo.
Till we meet.
umsebenzi wakho
Yebo mamthandi. Hamba kahle. Ufezile umsebenzi wakho. God be with you till we meet again. Thank you. I'm emotional right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you very much. Now we're going to call upon our Minister of Communications, Minister Faith Mutambi. Mama Mutambi, please come forward. And then thereafter, we are going to request. Let's give her a big round of applause. We are going to request the living legends and friends with the chairperson of the Living Legends program, Mama Uleta. And we're also going to call upon Brazinga Don Matera. And we're also going to call upon, for a special tribute in song by the Living Legends, Mamu Dorothy Masuka, Ntate Katsisiminya, and Umama Abigail. Why the alteration is so that the Legends program must not be disturbed, so that they should not have any interruption in the process. So please accept our humble apology in disarranging this for convenience. Thank you very much. Let's give our minister a big round of applause. Thank you very much.
Sanibonani. Dumelang. Thobela. Dimasiari. To the Klaasen family, Reverend Martin and all other church leaders, to the Honorable Deputy Minister of Arts and Culture, Mema Budapasi, to the Honorable Deputy Minister of Small Business Development, Mayor Elizabeth Tawete, to the host mayor, His Excellency, Executive Mayor of Ekurhuleni, Councillor Mzwandile Masina, to the Speaker, to the Chief Whip, and all councillors that are here today. I've also seen the members of Parliament, our living legends and artists in our midst, ladies and gentlemen. South Africa indeed is hovering in shock on the loss of this legend. You'll recall since Sunday, the caption was that SA pays tribute to Thandi Klaasen, and it placed itself in a monotonous frequency in a number of titles and in newsrooms. And so it must be, because we are talking of a legend here. After all, very few individuals have captured South Africa's political and cultural imagination and impacted on the lives of many musicians, as Mama Thandi has done. From the moment we heard of her passing away, tributes have come thick and fast, with scribes using their vantage point in describing her, as you have also heard the speakers as they were talking about here. In doing so,
Most of the people that pay tribute to her, they portrayed a rich portrait, each facet appealing to different groupings. The list of volunteers include their own fellow musicians. It includes also the political parties across all the sphere, the literary giants, including also ordinary people, all agreed in passing that she has been transported to the pantheon of legends, those whose mortals who through their contribution and creativity will continue to live with us. One of our own, a legend of international stature, Mama Thandi, whose soothing voice drowned frustrations and kept hopes alive during the struggle day from Sophia Town to Soweto and then beyond our shores, is now but a lingering fond memory embodied within our hearts. You will recall, colleagues, that the President Zuma has best summed up the indelible imprint that Thandi Klaasen has left behind. Also, it's also pleasing that her contribution in the arts and keeping hope alive was recognized in her lifetime. She also received one of the great honors the country bestows on its citizens, the Order of the Baobab in gold in 2006. These tributes express a sense of both loss and celebration of a life well lived, as if taking cue from these airways during this week. They continue to disrupt the message gloom by playing some of her memorable songs, because it is through her music that she will continue to live amongst those she leaves behind. But there's no honor on her than that one of the country's first citizen. Any tribute that does not speak to Mama Klaasen's never die spirit will be incomplete. Perhaps most revealing of her life is the words used by her daughter Lorraine in confirming the reports of her passing away. I quote, "Today is the day my mother left us. She passed away this morning peacefully. She lived a life of tragedies to be able to die peacefully. She did everything her way," close quotes. Apartheid, as you recall, colleagues and comrades, and petty. It has been petty and has been grand, but it could not surprise her indomitable spirit. Like many in her time, she also experienced what it means to lose your house through a stroke of a pen. All of us, because of this and because of some of our determination, you'll recall that what happened to her was done to her so that they badge a dishonor to her. But with her song, Sophia Town, it should remain a testament that continues to remind us that the past was both ugly and repulsive. There are few places that have a profound influence in the shaping of our nation. Sophia Town stands shoulder to shoulder with the likes of Sharpeville, Soweto, Langa, and Gugulethu in producing the kind of atmosphere and environment that produce South Africa's greats like Mama Thandi, be it in politics, in cultural expression, or even in journalistic excellence. In crafting that song, she has not only done her contemporaries a political favor, but she has bequeathed the future generation with a priceless gift. A gift that says the struggle against apartheid, colonialism was real and not in vain. There was nothing miraculous about it. People died, some of them went to prison, and some went to exile. Some were tortured, some were crippled for life. The freedoms we enjoy today is as a result of people like Mama Thandi Klaasen. These freedoms were not handed over a silver plate, lest we forget. But the worst strategy to befall any musician at the prime of her career awaited her. You recall Mabandu could not have expressed it well when he writes as follows, I quote, "In 1997, tragedy struck. The pretty star was attacked with acid. It was a violent incident that could have ended her public life as an entertainer. It didn't. Thandi Klaasen's resilient spirit carried her through. She recovered and kept on singing. This kind of violence will have been part of her life from the start. To be a singer in Sophia Town, for instance, meant that more and more often than not, the young Thandi Klaasen will perform for gangs and thugs as their primary patrons at shebins, clubs, and halls. Close quote. No one brings this career-ending tragedy sharper than her own beloved friend, Umama Abigail Kuveka. She's here in our midst. I love her remarks when she said, quote, for her to be bent like that and still have the courage to stand on stage in front of millions and sings, I admired her for that. Some of us get a pimple or blue eye and you go, I'm not going to work. She had even joked about it and say, they can burn my face, but they can never burn my voice, close quote. The SABC was the platform to promote her golden voice that entertained and dazzled all of us, near and far. A classic sing-along that reverberated the music scene along with her daughter, Mrs. Lorraine, her voice in particular. A melancholy duo as they celebrated life despite all the mishaps that happened in their life. And today, she has left behind a legacy of traveling triumphant spirit that made her cross the swelling tide to join the heavenly choir. There is perhaps no better embodiment of the former President Nelson Mandela's description of the life of Mama Thandi. President Mandela observed that the greatest glory in life is not never falling, but rising every time you fall. Mama Thandi remained loyal to her own voice despite the unfortunate incident she went through. She remained steadfast and was always, as they say, the lady that mastered her own voice. Perhaps the last word should go what the ANC Women's League have just described here in their political terms. I quote, the Imbokoto who broke the glass ceiling of the music industry, which characterized by domination of males and became an icon in African jazz. Her career as a singer and dancer began in the mid-1950s when the apartheid and patriarchal system were entrenched but did not deter her from pursuing her dreams, close quotes. To the family and relatives, I want to say, hold fast to the confession of your faith. May her soul rest in peace. She will remain etched in our memories. For some of us who were privileged to have known her and shared the moments with her, I thank you.
Let's give our minister a big round of applause. Thank you very much. Now, we are going to have our legends do their thing. May they please come up stage. Please. Let's welcome them with a big round of applause. Lilizela, 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 Lilizela. Please, when they come up stage, let's give them a standing ovation. I think that would be fair enough. When they come up stage, we give them a standing ovation. Everything is getting set here. They are going to run their show. We're just going to give them the ample time to go about what they know best.
Can we please just this Okay. Two. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, for them to be able to do the best they can under the most difficult of circumstances, with their expertise, we have agreed on the time that they will end whatever it is that they'll be doing. But before we do that, let's introduce the man who's going to be directing all of what is going to be happening here. We requested that we give them a standing ovation, please. They deserve it. Lilizela, 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 Lilizela. I'm now going to hand over to Mr. Welcome Umabata Msomi to take charge of this part of the program. Thank you, sir.
Minister of Communications, Deputy Minister of Arts and Culture, MEC Mazibugo, and the Executive Mayor, Efeguruleni, Siabonga, and all the people from Guruleni. And we thank the family for giving us the opportunity to celebrate and pay tribute to Umam Thandi. So many good things have been said, and all the wonderful things she's done. You don't want to be repeating the same thing, because I'm sure you're looking forward to what is going to happen behind me. So, Living Legends is about making sure, which of course Minister Natim Teta started and gave us the power to celebrate Living Legends. We are not going to be taking you through the history of what we've done. We've done master classes in many parts of the country. We've also supported a number of other individuals who have passed on. So what I'm saying is that we are, and we make sure that those that have been brought to our attention, we support in many ways. And the thing is that we want to make sure that the legacy continues. There are a number of things which we are going to be discussing at some point in the next few months. I will not divulge right now because, as I said, we need to find time for what we have put together for you. And now, Brother Don, you see, he's a living legend, you know. He thinks a lot, you know. Yeah. Don Matera is also on the board of trustees of the Living Legends.
Well, Majita Ritlile Hoboka. Firstly, I would like to say in one few seconds that you have outdone yourself. Your presence here today will go down in history, from leadership to ordinary people. And remember, it is not just for today, it is forever. Mrs. Peterson spoke very well. But we must do well. In Sophia Town, Sis Thandi was a star. She never needed to be protected because she was a queen. She was a giving. One of her policies was, Butselo is a race. There is no winning place where you can say Kiwinile. There's no place where there are trophies for you. There are no medals for you. It's on your marks. Get set. Ready. Fire. No, not go. She said, turn around to see who you can take with you. Turn around to see who you can take with you. And namata lebatu runamosofaya neremutompa. She was a queen. She was a beautiful woman. She never needed protection. I was a tsotsi, a sterkman, nekeshapanjanyel. Tot. So ringwe kingwe rona baga Living Legends ringwe tsibuku singna itswa mobona buthu yabona ibua le mme ere farewell Sister Thandi Klaasen, farewell. Like many other living legends gone, you have paid your dues, and you, like them, have lived and died in the arms of a great reputation of human service and caring love. Mafrika baratecha. When you love, you must care. When you have compassion, you must heal. So she had a great reputation of human service and caring love for her people and for her beloved country. Yes, Tsamaka Khotso, farewell, African Queen. We worshipped the ground on which you walked. You, late Dolly Ratebe, Mama Africa, Miriam Makeba, Dorothy Masuku, Abigail Kubeka, and hundreds of other big mamas. We held them all in the highest esteem. We loved and respected all very deeply. Sithi hambe kahle, fambani kahle siswa hina, namuntlha timbilu ta hina ta baba. Loko na nkirinyana hendla, Sis Thandi, our minister Nathi Mthethwa, said she taught us how to be free. And I believe it. Sis Thandi, of the free spirit, sleep well, Queen of the Blues. You and the big mamas have paid your dues for your people and for your beloved country. When she used to see me, thing, she used to say, Bra Matera, not Don Matera. Tlhompho. E re ke le tlogela ka phisinyana ya Sophia Town. On barren waste, Sophia Town was born, where rocks and trees all stood forlorn, where sunset's beauty was the poet's feast, where man fought man and beast ate beast. On barren waste, Sophia Town was born. So may the God who have taken her from us give us the strength to live her life of compassion and caring love. I am an Africaness. Izwe lethu, iAfrika.
Thanks, Don. So now, what we're going to have Sis D say something, because these are the legends who worked very closely with her. And then after that, it will be Sister Abigail, and then Leta Mbulu and Caiphas Semenya.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay. Sanbona, Bagiti. I can never start saying Sis Thandi, because I and Thandi, we were one. Ngisebenze no Sis Thandi some 60, 70 years. So life yam no Sis Thandi. It has been all my life. She has been my life. And she's still my life, because to me, she's not dead. Umuntu ofana no Sis Thandi akashoni inyama yakhe phinde siyibone, kodwa yena ukhona amongst us. And into engizayibonga njena ukuthi uminister wethu lo esinaye manje, uminister Mthethwa, I wish him 1 trillion years to come. Nabantwana abazalayo babe nale nhliziyo anayo for the musicians of today. Thank you, people. What is happening today never, ever happened in South Africa. Because it's not to say we didn't have ministers of culture, but it's only this young man who came up, who sat down and realized that it's without music in a country, or without musicians, nothing moves. Nothing, nobody will know who you are. We are gone, but bonani ukuthi uSis Thandi simlalisa kanjani. Uyabona namhlanje ukhiphe izimali wanimema nonke, wasimema sonke, wasenzela all these things. Uminister wethu lo esinaye manje, uminister Mthethwa. Otherwise, seriously, if it wasn't for this boy, we would still be mourning in our little homes. Anyway, Sis Thandi, I have nothing much to say. Lala kakhle,
bingelela uSisidoli, ubingelele noMiriam, nabanomnye, nabosechi, igenge yethu lese yahamba. Ngiyazi ukuthi uSisithandi, she's on that path. She's in that village. If there should be a village up there, which there must be a village. Lale kakuhle sisi wami, and sizawudibana pretty soon. We shall be together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, and all protocol observed, my wonderful ministers, Abahleli Lapa, Mutambi, and Mabuda Fasi, and everybody else in this room. Bantu Bagiti, today we are celebrating the life of Thandi Klaasen, a very strong lady. Thandi had the strength, angaziani. She was so brave. She was Thandi all the way, every time. You would take her to London or overseas, and she would still be Thandi. Maifuna ukwenza into uzawuyenza the Thandi way. You like it or not. And she was never apologetic about who she was or what she was doing. That was Thandi. Firstly, I would like to thank Abantwana Baka Thandi. You know, I always called her Thandi Mina. And she used to call me Abila, and I used to say Thandi La. So I'm going to address her the way I used to when she was alive. In fact, she's still alive. I want to thank you, Lorraine. I want to thank you, Makhosandile. I would like to thank the grandchildren for all what you did for Uthandiwe. As parents, we cannot separate because as a parent, you must build abantwana ubakhe umndeni uwakhe, and especially when the parent has left. So, mina bengibona uLorraine enza into eyenza uMakhosandile. When Lorraine was at the hospital, Makhosandile wasn't there doing other things. When Makhosandile was at the hospital, Lorraine was doing something else. I know for a fact because I used to be with them all the time. If I wasn't there, I used to communicate. And some of the artists who were not there, who couldn't make it to go to the hospital, they would phone and find out to Thandi unjani. And again, this thing got Thandiwe, it happened during the festive season. Tinama artists during holidays, that's when we work. That's when sithola umsebenzi and work. So most of us were out of town, but they would call, Abi, usisithandi unjani? And I would relate to them. I would tell the children, so-and-so called, and unjani. That's what happened. And I was happy. And I'm very proud of you guys. Makhosandile, Nomkako, Nawe Lorraine, thank you so much. And the grandchildren. We even had a meeting with the hospital staff one time. I was there trying to arrange izinto for Uthandiwe. But that didn't work, but they were there, they were very good. They were very supportive, and they gave us a hearing and listened, and we were together. We were working hand in hand with the hospital. So, bantwana bam, nisebenzile. Keep it up, nihlaleke nibambene even more now. Uthandiwe, she was a lady. She had style. Uthandiwe, I remember when she was still married to Lucas. She once told me, Abi, you know, I once cooked. Lucas had asked for a mutton curry. And then Yamazu Thandi must say, Thandi wine yake. And then I do. I shy wine yake, and then she was a very good. She was a mother, a housewife. She was everything. She cooked this mutton, kanti ifatuku, my is aware, pagati ebotwin. And she wasn't aware. So she dished out for the husband. The husband was eating upeti forok uyahlaba. Ow. And then he said, Thand, what have you cooked? Ah, man, Lucas, man, I said you cook mutton curry, that's mutton curry. And then Lucas said, yeah, mutton curry, mardi as dishcloth curry di. But lilonke ke uThandi sithi makalele ngoxolo, thina ma-artists will miss her because she was fun. She would tell people that they can burn my face, but they'll never burn my voice. She was an entertainer, uThandiwe. She might not have had a wonderful voice according to other people's standards, but she was an entertainer. She gave you what you had come to listen to, Mogi Show. That was Thandi. Lala ngoxolo Thandi. Ungapheki mutton curry or mutton dishcloth food. Thank you.
Okay. Sanibonani bakithi. Umndeni wakaMpambane nomndeni wakaKlaasen sanibingelela sithi akuhlanga olungehlanga siyanjelwe inkosazana kulomhlaba wakuthi. Dibulise kwakhona kuminister, dibulise kwakhona kumeya ubaba Masina, dibulise nakubafundisi bephethe lo mcimbi, dibulise nabo bonke nabantu abaphethe lo mcimbi, program directors ubaba uSilwana nobaba Dlabathi. Ndizocela ukuthetha ngosisithandiwe kancinci nje, very short. Ndingekafiki kuloo ndawo ndifuna also ukuthi sike sifumane usinga leli lizwe. Amakhosi elilizwe funeke siwabulise singawashiyi ecaleni. Abantu abalilwela elilizwe ngenyaniso. Sinabantu amakhosi okuthiwa ngoSikhukhuni, amakhosi okuthiwa ngoShaka, amakhosi okuthiwa ngoMushweshwe, and amakhosi okuthiwa ngoNgqika. Sithi kwakhona sibulisa abo sebesishile nabo, oTata uTambo, oTata uMandela, oTata uSobukwe, oTata uSteve Biko, bonke balilwela elilizwe. And siyababulela. Ukudibana kwami noSisithandiwe, I was quite a young person at African Jazz and Variety. I was only 13 years old, and all these veterans were there. Osis Dolly, Osis Thandi, Osis Dolly Ratebe, or Miriam Makeba, and many other men who'd pack us, and the rest of them, Bebe Corner. And my fascination with our artists, was that there was so much unity. Kubo. I remember one incident. I was in the dressing room. Nabo, dihleli phansi lindile ukwenza yami audition because this was my first time to do an audition for African Jazz and Variety because it was such a big company. I watched them at dressing room, the way they were talking to each other. They were interacting. Sometimes you'd think bayalwa. Kube khona lento ukuthi yabona wena zakwenza lento thile. But xa uva ilizwi, there was a voice that would come kuma monitors, and the voice would say, it's showtime. You know what? Bekungathi azange bangxolisane in the dressing room. Omnye nomnye uthi elokho yakhe ayiziphanga kakuhle, you know, and you forgot your shoe. Take your shoe. Nazi izihlangu zakho uzibeke zakuncedisa. There was so much unity xa kufuneke bahambe bodumisa uNkulunkulu because the gift that they had abebenazo bezivula kuThixo, and they recognized that. And one of those was uSisithandiwe. uSisithandiwe was multi-talented. I remember watching her sing. And I also remember her tap dancing. I don't know how many people here know Ugutu Sistandi was a tap dancer. And Sis Thandi was also very funny. She could have made it as a stand-up comedian. So you see, we are talking about somebody all multifaceted as an artist and as a performing artist. I don't want to waste time because I have so much that I would like to say in Sis T. You know, I'm just happy that I was touched by her grace and she made me what I am today. Thank you, Sis T. Ulale ngoxolo, luphika kusikelele.
Dumelang bagaetsho, molweni, re perile. Ha le so pele. Well, go tsena nna yaanong a ke re ba botlhe ba ke bo mme ke bana le ba bua ka Thandi. Mine is going to be very short, especially because I was a young man. The first time I saw Thandi was in the musical King Kong. Me and my group, the Cats and Jama Kids, and there were other groups, both the Saints, we were all young. King Kong featured some of the cream of the crop of South Africa. There were the Manhattan Brothers, the Woodpeckers, and among the ladies, Miriam Makeba. I mean, you name, all the cream was there. And we were just youngsters. So the first time I saw Thandi close, because I used to see her dance with the Manhattan Brothers on the stage. But the first time I really sang on the same stage as Thandi, I was 19 years old. And they were the superstars. I mean, they were it. And you just wanted to be like them, especially the guys. Definitely, I didn't want to be like them, the ladies, but the guys. So, what we are going to do, Manje, we are going to do some of the songs that really brought us together. Like I said, we shared the stage together. You don't know what it means when you are 19 years old and you are sharing the stage with the luminaries, I mean the best of South Africa. And they were all nice. Thandi used to, they never acted like they were superstars to us. They always looked at us as their youngest brothers, you know, and they made us feel good. And if we didn't sing right, they never shouted at you, they would be saying, but all those things made us what we are today. We are the professionals we are today because we had people like the Manhattan Brothers, Woodpeckers, Victor Ndlazlwana, Makei Davashe, who we walked in their steps. And everything that we learned from them, today we share with you. So when you listen to Hugh Masekela, know that before there was a Hugh Masekela, there was a Makei Davashe. When you listen to Caiphas Semenya, know that there was a Victor Ndlazlwana before there was a Caiphas. When you listen to Letta, as she said, there was a Thandi, there was Miriam Makeba. So over here, we are here to celebrate them. Even though we did not work together all the time, but we worked together in some of the biggest shows. A lot of you were not born yet. We were in Township Tonight, African Jazz, King Kong, like I said. There were other shows. I performed Sis Thandi, even in Cape Town. Mr. Palias, you don't know these shows, and I don't expect you to know. But when you look at us as a mirror of the past. And we are now going to perform some of Thandi's very, very favorite songs. We're going to do first Sophia Tal. This song is going to be sung by this young lady who played Thandi in a show at the Market Theatre. It was a tribute to Thandi Mpambani because that's Thandi's name, Mpambani, before she got married and became Klaasen. So it was a tribute to Mpambani, was a tribute to Dorothy Masuku, was a tribute to Abigail Kupela. Agreement. Yes. So now we are going to do Sophia Town, and the person who's going to sing it is this young lady who played Sis Thandi in this show, this tribute I'm talking about, Uzanele Dlamini.
Just a quick one, so that at times you forget that we have to thank the executive mayor of Ekurhuleni and the staff that came out to really put this thing together. It's not just a few people here. So we thank you. And again, we didn't want to forget that you have really outdone yourself. Thank you very much.
See the people standing in the doorway. See the bright light on the summer night. I can hear the music from Sis Fetty's bar. I can see my past passing by. I had no chance to say goodbye to romance. I had no time to leave it all behind. It was a place I knew where my dreams came true until they broke it down. Sophia Town. I can see Chibins up in Go Street. I can hear the wind before the storm. I can see police on the winter night, breaking down the place where I was born. 'Cause I had no chance to say goodbye to romance. I had no time to leave it all behind. It was a place I knew where my dreams came true until they broke it down. Sophia Town. It was a place I knew where my dreams came through until they broke it down. Sophia Town.
Thank you. That was nice. Ne? So she's good, ne? You should have seen her when she plays Thandi. Not really Exe, who's it? Hey, tada. But now we're going to do another of Thandi's favorite songs. She sang the hell out of this song, My Way.
And now, the end is here. That's what Thandi would have said. And so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, yes, and I've traveled each and every highway and more, well, much more than this. I did it my way. Yes, regrets. Yes, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and I saw it through without exemption. Yes, I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this. I did it Thandi's way. Oh yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off much more than I could chew. But then again, when there was doubt, I emptied up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it Thandi's way. I'm sure you knew, when I bit off much more than I could chew. But then again, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. They burnt my face, but I stood tall. She
you. Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to do Back of the Moon. This comes from King Kong, straight.
Like a people down a mountain street, like paper riding in the tree, like strolling in the dark through streets you know.
And people feeling free as these, people being what they please, people being easy, letting go, letting go. A back of the moon, boys, back of the moon, boys. Don't you mean it? Don't make it the back of the moon. End of the day, up with your pay, boy. Friday down the back of the moon. Oh, the floor starts shaking when the place gets packed. Chairs are breaking and the glasses crack. The night is in front, the days are behind. Back of the moon is where the folks let go. A back of the moon, boy, back of the moon, boy. Right, right is the back of the moon. Oh, the floor starts shaking when the place gets packed. Chairs are breaking and the glasses crack. The night is in front, the days are behind. Back of the moon is where the folks let go. Back of the moon, boy, back of the moon, boy. Friday, Friday is the back of the moon. Back of the moon, boys, back of the moon, boys. Don't you mean to go back is the back of the moon? Everybody knows that the moon is the best. Spend your money at the back of the moon. Back of the moon, boys. Don't you mean to go back is the back of the moon? Night, day, and the music play. Let the music play. Back of the moon, boys. Don't you mean to go back is the back of the moon? Night, day, and the music play. Let the music play. Back of the moon, boys. Don't you mean to go back is the back of the moon? Night, day, and the music play. Let the music play. Back of the moon, boys. Don't you mean to go back is the back of the moon? Night, day, and the music play. Let the music play. At the back of the moon.
I'm one who's never lost for what to say, but this is one time where I can just stay mum and appreciate in celebration what we have just been entertained with. Let's give them a standing ovation, which they deserve. Let's give them a Lilizelam Lilize. Let's give it to them. They deserve it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are now entering the last phase of our program. And this is how we are going to proceed. We were initially supposed to have the choir singing before we receive messages of support from the political leadership. But I have since requested that we don't spoil this performance and allow the political leadership to speak to us. And just before Umfundisi Asvalele will then call the choir just to give us a song, and then Umfundisi Asvalele. At this point in time, I am going to call the executive mayor of the city of Ekurhuleni, a very energetic mayor, a very decisive mayor, uMayor wodumo, uMayor we-service delivery, the one and only Councillor Mzwandile Masina. Just before the mayor speaks to us, he will then introduce to us a representative from the Gauteng government who's going to speak on behalf of the Premier. Following that, the representative that is going to speak on behalf of Gauteng government will then introduce the Deputy Minister of Arts and Culture. Following that, we'll then have a vote of thanks from a family member, Mr. Roger Mpambani. Over to you, Executive Mayor.
Thank you very much, program directors, members of the family, both Mpambani and Klaasen, the leadership of government in all its manifestation, the ministers that are here, deputy ministers, the MEC, the Speaker of Council, the Chief Whip, who's also the Program Director, the City Manager, and other senior officials, all the leaders of other political parties, the religious leaders, the members of the community, and our well-deserved legends that have just performed now. Good afternoon in this very, very important occasion as we bid farewell to our mother, to our granny and the struggle icon, an artist who has distinguished herself amongst her peers, who was humble, down to earth, and continued to serve. We all know that there is no soul more liberated than the soul of an artist. Artists are bestowed with a gift to ignite our deep inner feelings as people, our hidden fears, and our greatest joy. I'm sure all of us can attest to this as we have seen the performance here, that many of us remember as many occasions in our different lives because we all come from different generations. A world without a melody, a world of deficit of art, is a world void of humanity. That is why as a city of Ekurhuleni, we have felt that we must bestow the highest honor to this stalwart legend, Mother Thandi Klaasen, to give her the civic funeral. Today we gather here in song, in joy, sometimes in sorrow, but more important in high spirit, as we send off this songstress, our legend, our mother, another prize gem that has departed, as we have heard from the legends, that from time immemorials, we've always been losing those that are so close, so dear to us. But we are here to pay our last respect as a city on behalf of the people of Ekurhuleni, the people of Gauteng, and the people of South Africa. Without hesitation, we can safely say that she joined the whole community of not just musicians, but the greatest of them all, who contributed towards the liberation of this country, but more importantly, to changing humanity as we all know it. Her music, Thandi, that is a reflection of how dynamic she was and how eager she was as she explored uncharted waters beyond the borders of our own confines. As we've heard here, that she's not just a local artist, neither a provincial artist or a national artist. She was an international icon. She has seen it all. She lived her life the way she would have wanted her life to be celebrated. And I think today is a true epitome of who Thandi Klaasen was. Even those who are a younger generation who might not have met her, they do understand and appreciate why such decision in such political environment can be taken by those with authorities. I must say to the members of the community, to the art community, that when we took a decision to honor Thandi with the highest honor in the metropolitan, the council was unanimous. As you know, that I come from the ruling party, the African National Congress, which did not get the overwhelming majority, but were in control of the municipality and will continue to do so, because we take all those in council into confidence about the range of decisions that must be taken to advance our society and our community here in Ekurhuleni. Sis Thandi was a very influential human being, not just amongst her peers, but in the community where she lived in Eden Park. I remember vividly, before 1994, Mama Winnie Mandela, Matikizela Mandela, voted not very far from the place that was being described earlier by the friend and the struggle hero here. I know the contribution and the work that was done by a host of community members to ensure, firstly, that the national leader who has chosen to move away from Soweto to cast a vote in the then East Rand is protected. And the role that Sis Thandi and the peers and the community of Eden Park played, as Mama Winnie helped us to fight to ensure that all the citizens come out in numbers to vote and vote for the African National Congress. We shall remember a contribution in exile. We shall remember a contribution when she returned from exile. We shall remember a contribution when she continued to demonstrate that as a humble person, you can make a contribution to change the life of your own communities. She has played, as we have heard, with many legends. Some have demonstrated their art here in front of all of us. So if you ask me and all my colleagues in the city whether or not we've done this before, the answer is no. And if you ask us why now, why with Thandi Klaasen, the answer is she's a deserving legend of our time. Though she might have gone, I wish to say to the family, her friends, and everyone that is so dearest to her, including the children and the grandchildren, that Umama will forever be with us. As a city, we will embark on numerous projects to see how we can immortalize her good name. We will make sure that her name is not associated with mediocre, with things that do not matter, or at worst, with things that do not represent who she was. She remained an icon. She remained an artist, a mother, a compatriot who has distinguished herself amongst her peers. I plead with her family not only to mourn a passing, but to appreciate the gift that she was She was a mother to you, Mam Lorraine and Bud Rogers. She was a granny, and all that she was in our different communities. We all know that all of us who are still living, we are on borrowed times. We don't know when ours will come. What is more important is what is going to be said about us when we depart the world of the living. I think all of us can attest that indeed Sister Thandi was a deserving citizen. Hence all of us are here quietly enjoying the melody, the speeches, and all that she was, because she was a legend of our time. So all the people that are present here today in this memorial service, we want to say to all of you and those that are watching in their television that this is an affirmation of the character and the person and the persona that Sister Thandi was. And we're here to pay our last respect to Mama Thandi Klaasen, who lived her life to the fullest. She dared her dreams and used her God-given talent to touch many lives in the city and abroad. To Mama Thandi Klaasen, wherever you are, fly off our greater place where your voice will be heard eternally, and take your rightful place on the stage of the other life, wherever it is. On behalf of the city of Ekurhuleni, we want to pass our condolences. We want to ensure that we work with the family until we conclude this very difficult but uniting work of our legend, Mam Thandi. May his soul rest in peace. I thank you, Program Director. Allow me at this time to invite the MEC of Arts, Culture, Sports and Recreation in the Gauteng province, who's the MEC Wodumo, MEC Wamaololo, Umama Wethu Faith Mabuza, Mazibugo. Sorry. Atingam Shatis Mazibugo. Over to you, MEC.
Long live the spirit of Mam Thandi Klaasen, long live. Long live the spirit of Mam Thandi Klaasen, long live. Amandla. Amandla. Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor, for the introduction. Although I was telling them that I don't need to be introduced, like as you rightly said, it's MEC Wodumo. Firstly, let me begin inhlonipho yami to the family yaka Mam Klaasen, especially Ubabu Rogers kanye no Sis Lorraine, all the family members, abomakoti nabomkhwenyana sibabonile, grandchildren and great-grandchildren kanye nazo zonke izihlobo. The band members that used to play, no Mam Klaasen Nani, we also acknowledge you, because you were the ones that made Mam Thandi to be very famous with your music. There's also one relative, Babu Timpi Konalapo, Ukula no Mamam. I was telling them that Nizongkalisa Ningankumbuzi Zonkelintoles. Let me also pay tribute to our minister who is here with us, Minister Faith Mutambi. I always tell the minister that you are very supportive when. Akukho la ungayikhona uyaziwa wena futhi uthanda nokujiva. Ukuthi nje abasifakelanga A1 nje engayenza senze zona lento zethu esidume ngazo. Honorable Deputy Minister Tabete and Honorable Deputy Minister Mapudafasi, councillors that are here, MMCs, our living legends. It's only this government that recognizes ukuthi kunama living legends. Asifuni kunikhumbula naseni 6 feet underground, but sifuni kunikhumbula nisaphila khona manje. And we hope to take it within your stride to always acknowledge. She actually mentioned it. The minister is committed and will make sure that we forever recognize you. The representatives, Zagampasa, Ubabu Papsim Langeni, Nshara ngimtshela ngithi uyabona yazi uyashasha ipaps. Yana ngaqhamukala zathi dudlu ntombazana lo sisi muhle kanjani. Ukubone kanjani it means uyabona. let me also acknowledge all the representatives from the Creative Industry Federation of South Africa, mainly AMA artists and representatives of SAMIC. All protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. Beseshila nomntana umzukulu kaKlaasen ukuthi kuthiwa all protocols observed. In fact, Professor actually clarified me ukuthi why are there no many artists here? Because I was going to Kwela Pezwab, they choose who might have passed away. If it was a younger artist who would have gone to heaven, but because it is legends, so after she said tomorrow there is another memorial service, I said, outing bayeke kancane, ngizobagada khona laphayana. But what is important is that we must not pull the family into many memorials. Remember, we must give them time to grieve. But don't tell us, if we go to Jita Park now, it's not yet the time for Jita Park. Sizochaiva next week, Mama Apike, langithi sise Uncle Tom sonke. Yebo uze so lahlumlenze laphaya. Kanye nabo bonke siyijukutshe khona laphaya. NgesiZulu siyayisithi ayohamba amaqhawe kosala izibongo. Impela lihambile iqhawe lomculo. Sihambile isigagayi umama uThandi. Iqhawe leli who will not allow anyone to stamp on her feet. She never allowed anyone to oppress her, but she will fight back. Many of the music legends that our country prides itself rode on the shoulders of this big giant, Thandi Klaasen. In fact, she was strong. She was an inspiration to all women. She weathered the storms in the music industry and even in her personal life that we'll never be able to discuss. But clever lo otholakala kuphela lana eGauteng. She was even instrumental during the cultural boycott. When artists used to be told don't come to South Africa, she was in the forefront of making sure that those artists never come. Even in language, she was the one who promoted our language. But it is a language that is common within our communities that we're able to communicate with. And Esibi's Guti is stamped. On behalf of the Gauteng provincial government, we remain committed to supporting emerging artists from all genres, and we also ensure that the legacy of such icons like Thandi does not die. We also say that we have not only lost a musical icon, but we have lost a creative artist, encyclopedia, and an institution, Thandi Klaasen. Recently in August, we were celebrating the Divas of Kofifi at the Market Theatre. It was such an eye-opener to most of us, the young women. I'm still young, don't ask the age. And even the aspiring artists. And even the young woman, Uzanele Nimbonile Namhlanje Dlamini, she was playing her part. She played it well. She became famous by just playing that part. And we kept on asking Abu Mamu Abigail and Abu Mamu Dorothi, kanti uphi Mamu Thandi? But no, akaphilang. Sithi it would have been a befitting tribute if she could have come to the Market Theatre to see people, how they then project her, ukuthi bekuhle njani, even in those times as a Sekofif. Now, as we bid her farewell, we have no doubt that she has joined a mass choir in heaven. Like the likes of Abo Mamutoli Ratebe, Abo Patience Africa, Abo Miriam Makeba, Abo Kipi Moketsi, Abo Busim Shongo. Lately, by last year, bese joina nabo Mandoza nabo Sfiso, kanye no Klim. And I have no doubt there is a huge mass choir happening there in heaven. Baya Kula, Baya Jaiva, they actually welcomed her, but welcome Escotin Setu. As the provincial government and the Ekurhuleni municipality, together with the national government, will forever keep her memory alive. And with those few words, let me also indicate to the family that Premier, when he visited last week, he did sign a card. I will come down to give you this card. This is the token from the Gauteng provincial government, and I hope nizoigcina nanihlale nikhumbuze even your great times 10 children. Ukuthi uMama Klaasen was this icon. Let me now introduce our Deputy Minister of Arts and Culture, uMama uJoyce Mabudafasi. Woza mama. Keshashwa lakusegoli, gejiluile manje sisafuna ukuthola isikhathi. Thank you very much. Utufuna simsukumise ngeculo.
Esandla ngashiye yilene sadiso asha wena ete yilene sadiso asha. Thank you. Sodoma. Thank you very much. First, I can leave you lapa, Lahat Klaasen, the bereaved Klaasen family, Honorable Minister of Communications, Faith Mutambi, Deputy Minister Elizabeth Tavete, Acting Premier Faith Mazibuko, Your Worship, the Executive Mayor of Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Municipality, Councillor Mzwandile Masina, the clergy, our legends who are here with us today, the creative industry, family yonke, and friends. I attended a funeral one time in one province, I won't say where as we're singing and dancing, Wabonatina, the Africans, we do it the African way. And somebody who was from out of Africa, she was a missionary, she stood up and said, sorry. You could hear what is out of Africa. Out of Africa, not South Africa, Africa. And her sister, I think she's a missionary, she said, no. What's happening, I don't like it. Siyalila, siyakhala, niyabona. Inhliziyo zethu zibuhlungu. We must be crying. Don't dance. Don't clap hands. Don't drum. Sibuhlungu fana. Hey, sibonakala ukuthi sive ubuhlungu ngoba siyahambile umfundisi wethu. Somebody stood up. When that person stood up and said, look here, you people who are out of Africa, you claim to know Africans, you don't know them. Thina siyacula xa kumandi. Siyacula noma silila. You know, sisulinyembezi. Siyacula, sigide, kube mandi in all occasions. So don't ever do that again. It must be the last time you do that. It's true that we do that, we sing, we praise, we talk about your life. We talk about the seeds that we have sown. Allow me to join the fellow South Africans and the artist fraternity in paying tribute to one of our living legends, uMama Thandi Klaasen. Today, we are having a composed manner that is worthy of respect and honor to our living legends, uMama Thandi Klaasen. A celebration of life worth lived, a life that has experienced the most of turbulences and political, social chapters of our time, but mostly a life that was part and parcel of the South Africa's golden and formidable creative class periods. She remains beyond a shadow of doubt, a true woman of valor, an unwavering woman of class, and a faithful woman and also an activist. She has been on the cutting edge of preserving and promoting our cultural heritage whenever she made a public appearance. Through her life experiences and adversities, Mama Thandi Klaasen epitomized a never say die. She was a never die, that one. That's why we still believe she still sees us. She hasn't died. She has just moved on from where we are. Despite all the challenges that she faced, Mama Thandi never gave up. Her continuous courage and resilience is one that we cannot ignore in the annals of history. It stands as a mirror to every young girl out there who is faced with obstacles. Don't give up. She became a sustained symbol of cultural expression in the world, in the modern world. It is incumbent to other South African artists, both young and old, to carry on the baton with pride, to ensure that we continue to build cohesive communities through song and many other arts genres. Her most notable Sophia Town song can be best described as an anthology of words depicting the collective cries of our people from political and social deprivation once faced during those days, tough times. It sums up the history spanning long decades in less than 10 minutes. She would have said everything. We just wish, as a Department of Arts and Culture, to convey our deeply condolences to the Klaasen family, her friends, the South African music lovers. We know we have lost an artistic and cultural champion of our time. We have lost a sister, a mother, an activist. Othanda itsotsi ati hey ekse zwakala man siqamthe man ati hey komiso abhamphathi bhampa tsotsi mhlawumbe uzawuphumelela. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the government leadership for the message of support. At this point, I want to call a family representative, Mr. Roger Mpambani, to give us a vote of thanks on behalf of the family.
May I take this opportunity to thank God the Almighty, who has done this. In my culture, God is first and God is last. Mandibonge, Imeya Isego Rileni and his office. Kibonga konke enikwenzileyo bantu basekuruleni and the government siyayibonga. Ndizama ukubonga futhi our families from far and wide, others from Cape Town, bakhona apha, others from into le ndawo kaneni eMafikeng, they are here. Abanye from Soweto, it's far from Ekurhuleni, sibabonga. Ndizabonga futhi peers zethu, friends zethu, ne-legends, nama-musicians wonke. Uthandi kanene ebefumane futhi another level, babathi Honorable Thandi. Leonto iyasivuyisa kakhulu. Ndizama ukubonga futhi our local friends who have supported us for the past week and a half. Kakumbi nzabonga abantu base Eden Park. Sibavalele izindlela abakhange ba complain. Sapaka emajajini abo bengakwazi ukungena nokuphuma. They couldn't go out of their houses because all people that were coming to our place there were blocking their gates. But I tell you, there was not a day whereby now we found a person coming to say, that talk was not there. Ndibabulela bonke okakhulu futhi nzabonga ama sponsors. The Brody funeral undertakers, you made us people. Nibonise indawo esihlala kuyo kuba abantu they can do things differently. Nikwenzile oko ebinikuthembisile siyabonga. Siyabonga futhi ne batawung tombstones. Hey siyabulela. Izinto enizenzileyo they are beyond basingazichaza zithini. Ndizabulela futhi kakhulu iThele Mogorane Hospital apho umama bekhona. The doctors there, the hospital staff, the officials base bakuloso sibhedlele siyanibulela ngoba nenze umsebenzi omkhulu until our mother closed her eyes. Siyabonga kakhulu. Siyabonga kakhulu ne-security staff sakhona kulo ndawo naso siyasibonga. Ngibonga konke ma-legends nidikhumbuze into enzima kakubi njengoba benicula apha ma-legends umama ebeminani. Bekungathi nami ndingaphakama ndicule la ngoma ethi intonga samakhwenkwe. Umama lo ngoma leyo ebixa ebizwe estagini abephaya phakathi nabantu umuve from the back of the crowd ayibize le ngoma bajonge ngapha nangapha bemangala ba lo muntu othethayo ngubani na. Bradon ndiyakubulela tatwami undikhumbuza uBoy Thandi. Boy Thandi was a bodyguard kamama. Uyamazi Bradon ebediliza ngenqindi jisamuhu jikomdaso mbise uzel bebe akujonge athi komiso ngelo xesha majiye kufanele uzazi ba umi kanjani kuba uyakubetha ngenqindi yowela ngale kwi-platform. That was over Boy Thandi babemazi naye umama ke athi jisamuhu manje kanye ububi komprada likisuo. Hey ibiphumi Africans bakulandawo letso sitela bathetha ngayo siyabulela konke siyakubulela bantu bakuthi nabazile engababizanga amagama ndiyanibonga kukho konke nikwenzileyo enkosi.
No, thank you very much. Before I call upon Reverend Mantini to close for us, I just want to make these two announcements. There are actually three. The first one is that the artists will be commemorating the life and times zkamama Thandi Klaasen a Market Theatre tomorrow, I'm told. The program is starting at 12 o'clock. The second announcement is that the funeral kamama is on Friday. Iqalisa ngo 9:30 at JD Hall. Before 7:30, sorry, it's 7:30 at JD Hall. On behalf of the program directors, myself and Mr. Mzimkhulu Silwane, we want to thank you for being a cooperative audience. Our departing statement is that we share your pain, we feel you are hurting, but we are pleading with you to find it in your heart to accept that Umam Thandi has passed on and that her day is done. I want to call upon the choir yasekuruleni to give us an item, and then umfundisi asivalele.
Oh yeah. Loyana, 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 Litini, Litini, no, Loyana, Loyana, Pesudu, Lohampa. Oh hampa, oh hampa, eweke, no hampa, eseya pesudu, oh hampa. Go Ampa, go Ampa, eweke, go Ampa, eseya pezulu, ema. May we please stand and remain standing as we're about to do grace. Lord, we thank you for this wonderful afternoon. Because of your presence, it has been great to be part of this service. And so, Lord, we commend the soul of your departed servant, Umam Thandi, into your hands. And we ask that you remain as well with the children and grandchildren. And